What's up, everybody? This is Jay, and welcome to the Jaymoorereviews Ash vs. Evil Dead, Episode 7 recap. Remember to subscribe to my channel. Also, click that like button, and please continue to support me on Patreon and PayPal. The links is in the description box below. Now, when we come click into this video, we see Ash at the house, and he's talking with Kelly, saying good job on finding the dagger. She's all smiles, even though that's the evil Kelly. And then next thing you know, his daughter walks down, Brandy, and she's saying in the dress, he say, "Oh, you clean up good. You look good. What's going on?" She say, "Well, I'm trying to dress up for this dance at school." We say, "Well, right now is not a good time to play Barbie when we got evil on our ass like we tuna in a shark pit." Then she say, "Well, look, Miss Previtt texts me saying that she wants to talk, and so this is a good chance to you set her up." And so he say, "I don't know. What do you think, Kelly?" She say, "That's a good idea. Maybe we should go for it." She trusts her. And so then he says, "You know what? Let's go for it. I'm going to follow you, but, we're rubber, you glue. We stick together." And so then we click in and we see this like cocoon, and, Ruby is sitting there, and next thing you know, a greasy booty come pop out, and it's the evil Ash. He's been in the cocoon and pops out, and now he's all grown up. And he says, "Yes, mother, I'm here." And she's saying, "Yes, I need you to take over for Ash. And what we're going to do, you got to look just like him." And she hand him a mirror, and of course the mirror break. And she says, "It's just one thing that's missing." And so she hands him a saw, and he like, "Okay, mother, what is this?" And then she looks at the hand, and so he starts sawing off the little chainsaw hand that he had. And he's like, "Mother, it hurts." She like, "It's okay. It'll be all right. It'll scab over." And then she gives him the Ash clothes, the usual outfit. Meanwhile, we see Pablo with the last night and Gladys night. And so they sitting there and they talking. She says she can't believe her crew is dead. And then he hears a noise. He goes to the wall. And lo and behold, it's Kelly in the wall. And that's like some type of evil's fifth dimension or something. And so he's saying, "What's that? Who's that?" And she like, "Pablo, it's good to see you. Pablo, where are you?" And he like, "Kelly, what happened? What you doing?" She like, "Pablo, I messed up. I went after Ruby with the dagger and she killed me." He like, "What?" He like, "Yeah, I'm dead. I'm for sure I'm dead." And he like, "Kelly, what?" And she like, "Oh no." And then he hears this noise, and so Pablo is all scared and sad at the same time. And she like, "I gotta go. He's coming back." He like, "Wait, Kelly, where you going? Wait, where are you?" And next thing you know, she runs off, and you hear like some type of monster noise. And so then she's gone. He got a little tear in his eye. That was his little baby cakes. Kelly was, real sexy, too sexy to die. And then we see Gladys Knight, and she's all scared, saying, "I'm sorry about your friend." Meanwhile, we see that the party's happening. You got everybody taking little selfies, and then they pull up in the Delt Supreme, and so everybody hop out, and then Ash say, "Hey, here's the plan. You guys, we're going to go in through the front, and then we're going to go and nab Ruby." And then somebody say, "Hey, ain't that Ashy Slashy?" And then we got the Officer Pigowski. He's smelling bacon. And so Ash dipped down low, and he say, "Hey, it's a new change of plans. You all go through the front. I'm going to go through the back, and I'm going to sneak in and come on in through the rear." She like, "How you going to do that?" And then Evil Kelly like, "That's a good plan. I'll have it." And then he like, "Okay, let's go for it." And so then we see them in the party, and she's checking out the scene and everything. And then next thing you know, Miss Previtt is on the stage. And so it cuts over, and we see some kids smoking a little Jilla on the steps. And so he like, "I found this behind the fire extinguisher." And then you see Ash, and it's the evil Ash. And he say, "Hey, don't you know that's a gateway drug?" And he starts to walk up. They like, "Oh, what you gonna do? Chop us with your chainsaw?" And he like, "Hey, you guys, are smoking that weed. Maybe I could cut a little bit off the top. You want to kiss the saw?" And they like, "No." And then he cranks it up, and they screaming. And next thing you know, he chops them up and squirts her all over the place. She's screaming pain. Then we see Ruby, and she's on the stage, and she's saying, "We lost 2 people in our family this week." And then evil Cat say, "Did you know she was gonna do that?" She like, "No." And so she giving a tribute to to her mother and her friend. And so now, Brandy is starting to feel a little sympathy, and she say, Brandy, let's talk. I want to talk to you. And she like, no, that's not a good idea. And she like, I just want to talk in private somewhere. I feel sorry for what happened, and I need to let you know about something. She like, I'm not going anywhere. And Kelly like, it's okay, I got your back, Brandy. And so then they head out. Meanwhile, we see Ash busting through the back door, and he like see these steps all bloody. And so he like, oh no. And so now he realized he a little too late, that the party done started on both sides. And so he goes upstairs, and he sees the more blood trail, and then he sees a hand over there, and he could have used the hand, but anyway, he takes off his hand, gets a little wee protector, slides it on in to protect the nards, and now he's ready for battle. He done clicked on the chainsaw, he ready to cut it up. And then he sees the dead kids, and he sees evil Ash wiping his mouth, licking his fingers, finger licking good. And he say, hey, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm here to take you out. And so they getting ready to have a little Mexican standoffs, old school style. But then all of a sudden, this little Officer Pigowski runs up behind them and pull out the piece, telling them to freeze, don't move. Meanwhile, we see Ruby, and she's talking in her office with Kelly and Evil Kelly and Brandy. And so she's saying, hey, yes, I'm not evil, but your dad is. She like, what? That's a new one. She like, I tried to find out, and I'm sorry for not telling you my true intentions, but your dad, he's a demon, and if it wasn't for him reading the book, none of this would have happened. And so Kelly like, yeah, that's true. Brandy gets pissed, and she walks out. She don't believe it. And so Evil Kelly like, I don't think this will work. And she like, well, that's what you're here for. So then Kelly like, I've been watching her close. I don't think she'll turn on her dad. She like, you just make sure you do your part, and I'll make sure that my son does his part. And then she takes the dagger from Evil Kelly. And so then she gets ready to walk off and finish their plan. Meanwhile, we see Brandy, she's in the hallway, and then the kid runs by talking about Ashy Slashy. And then next thing you know, Evil Ash walks up, and he like, give me a hug. She kind of weirded out because he don't never say that, but she give him a hug, and he like, I got something to confess to you. And then he shows this kid chopped up. He like, yeah. She like, you did this? He like, yeah, well, he messed up. It was a dress code for the party, and he wore those stupid shoes. How could you wear those shoes? They don't go with the outfit. She like, what? Are you crazy? And then he freaks out and opens wide, and then she runs. Meanwhile, we see Officer Pigowski holding the real Ash, and all of a sudden Kelly runs up on him and tases him and frees Ash, and he's laid out in the corner. And so he's like, Kelly, good job, where you been? And she's saying, your daughter, she just ran off. He like, well, where'd she go? She like, I don't know. She just kind of tweaked out and ran away. And he's like, all right, well, we're going to have to go look for her. You go this way, and I'm going to go the other way, and we'll just meet up. And she like, okay. And so as he walks off, she got that little evil grin and her smile, knowing that, I love when the plan gets together. Meanwhile, in the gym, we see Ruby, and she catches up with Brandy, and Brandy's tweaked out because Evil Ash showed he chopped up somebody, and then he comes into the party, and then he starts cutting up, scratching like he a new DJ, and he got his greatest hits playing, chopped up the kids, and Kelly and Brandy and Ruby run up under the table to hide, and she's watching Brandy's reactions to make sure she's freaked out at all the kids getting chopped up. Meanwhile, Pablo pulls up in the Delt. I don't know how he got it, but anyway, he pulls up in the Delt, and he's running through the hallway looking for Ash, and then Evil Kelly calls him and says Pablo, and so now he's like, oh no, Kelly. And so he comes in because he was thinking Kelly was dead, and so now he's looking, and he's like, Kelly, you okay? I didn't know. She like, yeah, I'm fine, how about you? He like, oh man, I couldn't live with myself if something would have happened to you, especially since me and you never got a chance to kiss. She like, well, that could be arranged. Maybe we can do something about that now. And so he leans in about to kiss her, and then he headbutts her with that big ass fro he got, knocks her out on her ass. She falls down. He like pulls out the pistola. He like, hey, I know that this ain't the real Kelly. What are you, a demon? Because me and Kelly did kiss, and it was awesome. Then we see Ruby. She's in the gym, and she starts screaming, "Ash, get away!" And she gives Brandy the dagger, says, "Protect yourself." And so now the real Ash walks in. And so now we cut back to, Kelly and Pablo, and he's telling her, "Don't move or I'll kill you." She like, "Go ahead, put a hole in this beautiful face and body that you love so much." And of course Pablo is he can't kill Kelly, so she knocks him out, takes the gun, starts unloading on him, and then it's down to one last shot, he thought, and she was about to kill him, but she was out of ammo, so he gets up, runs out of there. And so he's running through the hall to get away. Meanwhile, we see the real Ash. He just sees all this chaos and carnage, and now he sees that Brandy wants to kill him. He like, "Brandy, what are you doing? Back down." She like, "You deserve to die for what you did." He like, "Brandy, you're tripping. You got me messed up." And then Ruby comes over as like she's trying to protect her, but she pulls the chainsaw into her and makes it just like chop them up and, spray them all in a circle, a 360-degree blood spray. And she's just smiling because that's part of the plan to freak Brandy out. Meanwhile, Pablo sees Ash sitting in the hallway, and he like, "Jefe, what are you doing?" He like, "Jefe, I know that word. You call me boss." He like, "Yeah, what are you doing out here?" And he like, "Oh, I'm just sitting here waiting." Like, waiting. He like, "It's a lot going on right now." And then he like, "Hey, come here, Pablo." And then he put his hands on him, and Pablo hears the chainsaw, and then he gets the vision and sees that mouth open wide. He knows that ain't Ash. He like, "Wait a minute, you're not Ash." And next thing you know, he grabs him by the throat like the Undertaker and choke slams him up against the wall. And so now Pablo getting choked out real quick, and he like, "Hey, what tipped you off?" And then he throws Pablo across the hall. Meanwhile, we see Ruby, and she faking her death just to piss Brandy off and, traumatize her. And Brandy gets mad, and she grabs the knife, talking about, "You deserve to die. You killed her." And Ash is like, "No, she's not dead." And he's like, "She's already dead." But then she has a flashback of all the good times that they've had together, and when she helped him get away from the police, and when he was thanking her for it, and when she made him a Pop-Tart, and when he said, "Hey, this is the best dinner I ever had," and all it was great times. And so she starts crying and saying, "I can't do it." And she drops the damn dagger on the floor, and that right there pissed Ruby off. Her eyes opened up, and then right at that moment, Pablo and Evil Ash come in, and Pablo is trying to defend himself while the Evil Ash try to kill him. And then Ash say, "Hey, what are you doing?" And then he pulls out his shotty and blows his head off, say, "Get out of my jazz." And Ash falls out, Evil Ash falls on the floor, and Ruby is pissed now because that's the part of her plan that she needed. She needed Evil Ash to take over, so she grabs the dagger, pops up with her guts hanging all out. Then Brandy now sees, she say, "You were telling the truth." He like, "Hey, I told you." And then Ruby gets up, and she's saying, "After 100 years looking for the book and 2 years in this school, and now my plan is ruined, I'm going to kill you." And then Brandy runs to him, and she throws the dagger, and everybody's Pablo saying no. And Ruby throws the damn dagger, and of course she got perfect aim, and it lands right in Brandy's back, killing her. And so Brandy falls in Ash's arms, and now she's gasping for breath, and she's damn near about to die. And then Ash is all sad and upset. Ruby gets away, and then Brandy wakes up in the same dimension that Kelly's in, and then she hears some type of evil monster noise, and so she has to break out running. It's a good episode, but it was messed up that now Brandy is trapped in that demon world. From the previews, it looked like Ash is going to try to go there and save him. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click that Patreon button and support me on Patreon. And I'll see you on the next video. Peace.